Hello. Hi, Joanne. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome, everyone. Happy Sunday. Trying to see what you're seeing. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, it's better. I have my sewing machine out, but I probably won't use it much today. So I'm going to move it here in a minute. Hope you had a good week, Joanne. I'm just going to wait a minute and give everyone a chance to join us. Can you hear me okay? Have my cup of coffee. I haven't seen that little speaker thing before. Let me see. What does that do? Hey, Angie, how are you? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, wonderful. There's a little speaker icon and it only has one green dot, so I'm hoping that doesn't mean my volume is too low. Welcome. Happy Sunday. I guess for some of you it's almost over. Just going to hang out here for a minute and see how many people are able to join us. I'm going to just keep working on the lace journal. So I had several weeks ago, I don't know, it's been months ago probably, put running stitches in some lace as a prep for making lace flowers. So I have a piece here that I've been able to start gathering up. I'm always afraid I'm going to break the running stitch, but I want to put some lace flowers in the journal that I'm going to make. So I've been having a lot of fun, and I finally finished my container gardens. So I'm going to do a little video of it next week so that I can show you guys. Well, it won't be live, but I'll do a video showing you my container garden because it's all planted and my tomatoes are growing like crazy. And these, I'm just rambling about random stuff. I hope you don't mind, just to wait for more people that might want to get in on the journal part of it. But we have this garden center here called Pikes, and I think it's a more specialty kind of garden center. They have really nice kind of exotic plants, rare plants, and heirloom plants. And so I treated myself, even though I don't know if these seeds are considered heirloom or not, but the paper journaler in me just loved the images on these seed packets. So I bought parsley and I planted it, but I'm going to use the seed packets for my paper journals. I don't know why people do seed packets as part of the ephemera. I just love it. I guess because it's nature and botanicals. There's still quite a bit of snow peas left in this one, but the packets are such pretty drawings of botanicals. And then one of the flower fairies is a nasturtium fairy, and I just wanted to plant some nasturtium. I had never really even heard of them, but they just seem so pretty. So now that I've planted them, I'm going to use the seed packets. They don't have a copyright, so I think I might even be able to copy the packet, just the packet, the front of it. We'll see. I'm sorry there's a glare. Anyway, I love botanicals, so these will go in a journal that has to do with nature. And I got a lot of things set up to do some crafting on the journal that we're going to make this week. Has everybody had a good week? We just got a little bit of rain and now it's getting cloudy again, like we might get some more. So I hope I've been so paranoid about my garden getting too dry that I'm hoping I'm not overwatering it. And now we're getting rain, so that might not be good. I hope they'll survive. I have a couple that seem to be struggling, and I'm worried that maybe it's because they're too wet. But we'll see. It's early in the season for a lot of people. Where I'm from in Wisconsin, they don't even recommend putting your plants out until after Mother's Day. And sometimes even then it's too early. We've in Wisconsin get frost sometimes even the first week in June. But here in North Carolina / South Carolina, I say that because I could literally walk into North Carolina. We're right on the border. And I work in North Carolina, even though I live in South Carolina. But here they say don't plant until after the 15th of April. So I did plant a little bit too early. This is stuck now. I can't move it anymore. So I guess my flower will only be so big. I remember learning how to gather ruffle, I think like in 3rd or 4th grade. My mom showed us how. She really wanted us to know how to do things like sew and needlework, I guess because her grandmother did it. We never got the needlework part of it. But I did learn how to sew, the very basic stuff, hand sewing, fixing a button, sewing a sock or a tear. And then we took sewing machine lessons, probably around 6th grade. And I've sewn things, but I never would consider myself a seamstress. But I am grateful for a little bit of the skill. It comes in handy. So I hope you guys are looking forward to our live today. I hope more are able to join us. And those of you who might just be looking incognito and not really wanting to join in on the chat, I understand. But if you do want to just give me a little shout out and say, hi, I'm here, I would love knowing who's really watching with me today. It is kind of dark in here, you guys. I think I'm going to turn another light on, so hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, that helped me. I don't know if it helped you guys any, but I needed a little more light on the subject. Anybody drinking anything yummy? I've got some coffee with cinnamon in it. Yeah, I know. I love gardening books and catalogs. A while back when I decided I wasn't going to garden here, I gave my sister my herb garden book. It's like one of those pretty kind of coffee table books, but it's also informative. I was so afraid of the bugs and snakes in this state that I decided I wasn't going to garden. But I've gotten my courage up for it. I keep seeing lizards. Hi, Joan. I'm so glad you made it. I was just hanging out here for a minute chatting, deciding to just wait before I start the journal in case anybody else joins in. So we're glad you're here. And I've been working on gathering this lace for a fabric flower. So I'll give you a little background on when I started doing lace journals, I had been watching. I had no clue there was even such a craft. I'd say about 5 years ago. And we had moved to Arizona. I didn't have many friends there. I had a really close friend there and no family there. So I started watching and just happened to bond. Oh, I think her name is Fiona Jennings. I watched her. I watched, um, of course, Trisha. Um, and then just slowly I would connect with other crafters. Maggie, is it Maggie White? Oh, she used to do the doily books and she made them look so easy, even though they weren't. But I learned a lot from watching her. And just, I don't want to name drop too much because I'll forget people for sure, but I know I learned a lot from Laquita at Pampered Petals. And I just sort of came upon my own style as I watched other ladies work. And most of you watching already know a lot about doing these journals, but I hope you'll find it fascinating. And maybe there's something I'll do that you don't do, or you can interject and tell me about something that you do that I could possibly do. So if you saw my video last week, I just made the basic bare bones of a lace journal. And I decided to go ahead and start covering the pages with lace. And I went into a new thrift store that I just discovered. And they had this beautiful yard of eyelet lace trim or eyelet lace fabric. The camera's not doing it justice, but there was quite a bit of this. So I decided that I would use it to cover the pages of the journal that we made together last week. Oh, okay. Well, I'm hoping I can be of a little help to Joanne. We'll see how it goes. So, what I like to do is I will cut a piece of fabric. And so, let me just remind you the bare bones of this. I'll go to the back so you can see. Were just these pages that I stitched some to show you that you can stitch them in, but I also glued some. And it comes with this. You put pages on the left and pages on the right, and then you have this big gully in the middle. And what I do is I cut a piece of fabric big enough. So this is going to be your largest rectangle because it needs to go across the entire 2 pages and the little gully in the middle. And what I've been finding that's fun to do is with this little gully in the middle, once you put all your ephemera and laces and doilies, that keeps it from being an alligator mouth on the side. But if that bothers you, that big opening there, you can put a little pocket, a narrow pocket, and pens will fit in there. And that way, if there's any writing space in the journal, you'll have your pen right accessible in the middle of the little gully here. And I'll do that before we're finished with the journal. I'll put a pen pocket there so that you'll be able to see where it goes. And I'm just going to glue this in. Now, I do have my sewing machine set up, but most of what we're going to do today, I'm going to glue in because I want those of you who aren't familiar with it to see how simple it is just to do it with Fabri-Tac. Now, I do think a good glue is a good idea because it's hot glue is fine. It's just some people say it gets kind of brittle over the years and might get kind of crunchy. I don't know. I have some in the beginning that I used hot glue with because that's all I knew. I know Maggie White uses hot glue on her doily books. So I'm not against hot glue. The only reason I avoid it is because I burn myself too much. That can be kind of dangerous with the hot glue gun and that soldering iron, man. That'll make you think twice about using it. when I'm using my Fabri-Tac, I try to make sure I don't have many of the little beaded pieces. I kind of go over them and flatten them out some because I'm sorry it's so bright you might not even be able to see this, but I'm literally just gluing right now anyway, so I guess that doesn't really matter. But like I said, the middle rectangle of fabric needs to be wide enough to stretch across both pages and this little gully in the middle. And I'm going to turn it over and make sure I spaced it properly. It looks like I could stand to move it over just a little more to the right. Are you guys seeing this okay? I hope I don't have too much here. It'll start looking like we're actually getting somewhere here in a minute. So I call this our little craft and chat. Let me know if there's anything you want to chat about, because I certainly don't want to just ramble on and not give anyone else a chance to say anything. So let me go back to the front part of this journal. So you can see I'm just rubbing the glue. Let me move this stuff. Too much. Okay. I'm just rubbing it in place, and these pages aren't going to be perfectly even, but we're going to trim the edges with beautiful lace trims, and you'll never see where it's slightly uneven. There's a little bit of unevenness here, so I'm going to trim this off. Okay. And then I'll check this page. I love eyelet lace. I think it has a memory. Sometimes I'm like, wonder why I love that. And I think I remember an eyelet lace dress my mom had made for us. Seeing that I'm a twin, a lot of times, if mom couldn't find two of the same dress or outfit that she wanted us to wear, she would have it made for us. And you would think we wouldn't want them made, because when you're growing up, you think stuff from the store is better. But we loved having the dresses made. Mom had great fashion sense. So we had these beautiful eyelet dresses so that we could match, because she loved having twins and dressing us alike and making us a little novelty of sorts. So it was fun. We stopped dressing. I'm embarrassed to say how long we dressed alike, but it is amazing that every now and then I'll go to her house and we'll have on the exact same color combination. Sometimes we'll even have the same top because we both liked it, so we both bought it at various times, and then we'll get to each other's house and we'll have it on. We'll have on the same top. Yeah, you know what? That's why I like Fabri-Tac, because sometimes days later you can even peel it off if you're really careful. Okay, so if you can see, this is the inside of the book cover, and I just took my rectangle of fabric, found center so that when I fold it over, it'll be even, and then I start by gluing it right down the center of the two pages. And then I go back and glue it down. And I actually, this linen tablecloth fabric is so pretty, but I'm still going to end up covering it up. She made eyelet. Oh, she was a seamstress. That's so neat. I wish we still had some of those dresses. Okay. back when I was sewing, the fashion of those dresses I made probably in the 80s are back now with the tiered ruffle and kind of blousy looking dresses. The girls are wearing those again. Oh yeah, dotted Swiss. I forgot about that one. My mom loved dotted Swiss. I had a daisy dotted Swiss dress. They had the same kind of like flocked feeling daisies with yellow centers, and then everything else were those white dots all over. I can picture it right now. Okay, so this is the cover. This is the inside. And I just decided to use the eyelet lace on every page. And if you remember, some of the pages were short, but like I had said, you'll be able to extend the pages longer once you add the fabric, or yeah, you cover the pages with the lace. And so this one, so we just have a few more to cover. So we'll cover these together. I glued that side down. Now I'll glue this side down. Oh, and gingham. Everybody knows I'm a nut for gingham. You know what, though? I can't wear it. I keep thinking, oh, that's so pretty. And I bought a pink gingham button-down blouse. And I put it on, and it just didn't work. So I thought, okay, I'll make, I had one that was yellow, and I'm always thinking spring and summer. And I thought, oh, I've got this really fun blue daisy sweater, and it's got yellow centers, and I'll wear a yellow gingham shirt underneath it. Nope, just doesn't work. I just feel like when I look in the mirror, I'm not feeling the gingham. But you know what? My mom's kitchen, I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted, you guys, but it was so, I don't know, some people might say gaudy, but it was just, she just had fun style, and she was whimsical, and if she liked it, she didn't really ask anybody else's opinion. And her kitchen was orange gingham with orange border on her kitchen curtains, and she had an orange gingham tablecloth. She loved gingham, and for some reason she loved orange. I didn't really like orange. I'm still not a big fan of orange. So then I have this next one that, again, I just will start by putting it in the center. And that way, if I need to readjust it, I can. And I'm going to flip it to just make sure my pages are even. I think this is a sign that I have to move it over a little bit. I'm going to just slide this over a teeny bit more. There we go. So we have 5 friends watching right now. Hope others are able to join us soon. I'm going to see how this folds over. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, okay. So now I'm just giving it a good rub. Make sure everything's sticking well. And then after we cover all the pages, we'll start embellishing, which is always the most fun. So these are the last 2 pages, and this is the back cover page. So we haven't gotten back in the habit of going to church in person. We were really excited about going on Easter. And I used to not actually go to church on Easter because I always felt overwhelmed by how many people only came on Easter and never came any other time. And it was always so crowded. And but we really enjoyed being back this last Easter. It was literally the first time for so many people. since everything had locked down. So I thought, okay, we're off to a good start. We'll get back to going. We didn't go today. I don't beat myself up about that anymore. We grew up in a very strict household where church was never an option, but I feel like that's not a good reason to go to church, even though it is a good idea. So we watch online, get our spiritual food that way. Maybe we'll get ourselves back into the habit of getting up and getting out on Sundays again. They were tiebacks. Yeah, my mom loved to make tiebacks on her curtains. She made a lot of her curtains too. Even though she wasn't real arts and crafty, she did love window treatments. And she always had very nice ones. Do you guys make any of your window treatments? Okay, that one's done. So this is the back cover, and you can see where the eyelet one that I measured is a bit uneven, but that's so easy to fix now, and it's much better to be too long than too short because you can always trim it up. So I sometimes decide, like when I do a lace journal, I like to put fabric images. And okay, so let me just show you this real quick. I don't know if you can tell. So right there, it's a little bit longer. Now's the time where I just take my scissors and kind of trim up any of the fabric that might be longer because I have it completely closed now. And so I can see how everything is lining up. So you can tell where to trim. Starting to feel really good. It's got like some stability to it now with that nice eyelet fabric covering each page. I want to show you one more thing really quick. You made your living room, well, you know what? Oh, crushed velvet. I love crushed velvet. Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I'm sure they're gorgeous, Angie, because you guys, if you don't know, Angie's a very good seamstress. Angie, how old were you when you started sewing? Do you mind me asking? I'm sure you were young. My machine came unthreaded, so give me a second here. You can't sew a straight line. Oh my gosh, my mom used to say that. I bet you could. Curtains just kind of make the house. They finish it off. I remember when everyone was into getting their curtains custom made. It was a big deal to have custom made drapes. And you had to use those hooks. And I remember Mom taking them down every so often, having them cleaned. We'd have to take those hooks off. Okay, so I wanted to show you one more quick way to make a book form. I had this bolt of fabric that is burlap on one side and lace on the other. And all you have to do to make this book form, it's so much easier than the one even last week, which I think is pretty easy, but you fold it like an accordion. So you just, let me start from the other end. So some people call it a concertina, but I just fold it like this, over, under, over, under. And then all the folded edges I leave facing out. Ooh, almost made my camera fall. Sorry about that, you guys. And then I have one that's gonna serve as the cover. So I take the edges that are the raw edges that are cut, I put them in the middle, and then this is going to be a little uneven. Let me move this down. And if that's uneven on the flap, I can trim it off. And then fold what's going to be the cover over. And then all you have to do, if your sewing machine is forgiving enough, is make a stitch about 1/2 inch down the seam, which I'll do really quick. And then I'm going to show you how you immediately have pages. I hear thunder, you guys. I wonder, I hope power doesn't go out or anything. It typically doesn't, but we did have a power outage last week. I was surprised. Oh yeah, my machine's going to allow me to do this, you guys. So forgive the noise for just a minute. I'm going to backstitch. Okay. Just make sure it's all tucked in there nice and tight. This kind of reminds me of a children's fabric book. Okay, so in that easy few seconds, now again, don't let it bother you that these aren't even, because you'll be adding your lace trim and things, and that will even things up. But I just stitched this cover over the folded pieces, and you can do one of two things. You can either leave them doubled like this and it'll make it thicker, and then you could make like glue the bottom and make it pages, and then you would have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages include, and then the back cover and the front cover. Or you could slice these, which I think I'm going to do, and you'll have several more pages to decorate with lace. Oh, put my foot on the presser foot. That wasn't good. Okay, so now in that short amount of time, I now have the makings for another lace book. You were 12 when you sewing. Hand sewing from very young. Oh. Okay, Cindy dolls were like Barbie dolls. Aw, how sweet. We used to make doll clothes. Loved it. Okay. So that's it. That's how you can make a really easy book form. And then the decorating is like the sky is the limit. So let me show you the images that I've printed. I have, I'll just show you oh, sorry, too much glare. Oh. Anyway, it's print on fabric sheets. And that's the name of the company, Sunny's Copa. I got these from Amazon. I like them, but my printer doesn't like them that well. Usually I can print anything, but it's been a little stubborn. This is just beige canvas. And I do think these are on stick-on. No, they're not. Anyway, they're made to go through inkjet printers. And they were fairly reasonable. It looks like you could, I'll put that back later. It looks like you could order these in cotton and in white or beige. Let me put it closer. So that's one, and then they're all 8.5 by 11. And then I use this brand as well, Taylor, and I like these better. I like the fabric on the beige ones, but like I said, sometimes they give me trouble going through my printer. So the images, I usually choose images that have to do with ladies of leisure, sitting and having tea, looking out and wandering in the forest, wondering and wandering. This one was an image that I used in my Ladies of Leisure journal. She's just sitting on a swing. I love it. She's got a pretty basket of flowers on the side. And single page label sheets. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Tim Holtz fabric books. I didn't know they have fabric books. Oh, you are kidding me. He sells fabric books now. Maybe they've always been out and I just didn't know it. But that's great. So you just decorate the pages. That works. Now these I use just a more transparency for the image so that they'd be a little more vintage looking. I don't know if you can tell, but this is the back of a girl's dress. It's just layers and layers of fluffy lace, and she's walking in a field. And then this one says Queen Bee, and this is the nasturtium fairy. I was showing you the nasturtium seed packet. And so I printed him in sepia. And then this is just a pretty image of a teacup with a daisy floating on the water. I probably would have like a chamomile flower instead, but I did plant what I call a tea basket. And in the basket, I have chamomile, peppermint, and what's the other thing? Chamomile, peppermint, and I think lavender in the same basket. And I thought it'd be fun to just go out and snip those and put them in a hot cup of water. Okay, so before I start embellishing, I thought I would choose an image. I like to sometimes choose the image for the cover first as a way to kind of help guide what theme I'm going to have for the journal. But you know what? I don't think I want to do that this time. I think what I'll do is decorate the first couple of pages. I'm going to call it old school, but basically when I first started learning about decorating lace journals, typically you would have like a flower page where you would have a fabric flower, and then you would have maybe a pocket page. And for the ladies that haven't done lace journals, I'm going to start in that same way. And so this is the fun part, because you can layer and layer and layer, and it just gets almost obnoxious. You can have so much fun with layering. Hi, Mary. I'm so glad you could join us. Thanks for coming. You're never late, you guys. Anytime you can just stop in is fine, and anytime you have to, leave us, we'll miss you. But I do understand. I love it when you come. It makes my afternoon really fun, and I look forward to it. So that being said, what I want to do is I'm going to put some lace trim on the outer edge here. And like I said, even though it's not perfectly even, it's okay, because we're going to put a lace trim. And I have this tray here of all these different laces to choose from. The first one I'm going to put down, I think, is just going to be a nice flat piece of lace. Turn it the other way. And like I said, you can stitch all of this with a sewing machine. But when I first started making journals, my sewing machine wasn't working, and I really wanted to do these journals. And when I watched some of the other ladies, they used glue, and they actually used hot glue. I've moved on from hot glue, but I'm still not opposed to putting one together with Fabri-Tac. And it'll also help while we're crafting and chatting if I'm not constantly jumping on the sewing machine. So I have this lace on this edge, and because I have that one on that edge, I'm going to put the same on this edge, even though I'm not opposed to doing all different laces on the edges. It's really up to you, but I'll kind of keep these two pages tied together some. Thank you, Mary. I went through my vintage laces and I decided for you all, I'm using my best laces. I'm really enjoying using them too. I don't have a problem with cutting them up, especially now that I know there's a lady who sells them for these like remnants of trims near me. You can stuff as many as you can in these sandwich baggies for $1. So you can get like 4 or 5 baggies of these trims. And I mean, she's got tatting and you name it. It's in her little basket. Once she gets a bunch of them together, that's how she sells them. Okay, so I've got some pretty lace here, but now I'm going to put another heavier lace down that edge. Let's see, which one should I use? This is a really common one with that like zigzaggy stitch to it, but I don't know what it's called. And I do love this one, but I'm going to look for a slightly narrow one. Let's see. I like this one. Yeah, I think I'll use that one. And this one isn't a vintage one, but I did tea dye this one. Started getting excited knowing I was going to be working on a journal today because I haven't worked on a lace journal in a while. And I had to put my Etsy store on vacation because it's for a good reason. I've been selling so well that I need to restock and get some more things in there. So that's a happy thing. It's a little stressful though, because when you sell on Etsy, they like rate you and there's all these different ratings and some you're not even aware of. So I feel a little pressure. That's why I put it on vacation, because I thought rather than have very little in my shop or, very few sales, which they keep track of, I just decided to put it on hold for a minute. Okay, so then I'm going to put this one. This tea that I used was Constant Comet. I think, is that made by Bigelow? Anyway, it gives you this beautiful ecru color, and I love that. Ooh, did you guys hear that? Okay, if for any reason I abruptly leave you, it's because we're having a little bit of a rainstorm right now. Okay, so now I've got the trim that I want here and here, and I want another trim. Actually, yeah, you're right, Joanne. The beauty of Fabri-Tac is you can move things around, and I'm going to move that around because I want to put this one at the bottom. I did have this together. You know what? No, I don't want to put that one at the bottom. I think I want to put, ooh, I like this one. Can you guys see this one? I'm going to put this one at the bottom and then maybe a dangle one on top. And I apologize, I'm working white on white. That's not good because you're not seeing it very well. I'll make sure next week I have something darker underneath. Tina, hi, welcome. Oh, aren't you sweet? Thank you. You know, I was watching a live yesterday. Who was that? Lena? No. Ing. I forgot her first name. And Trace of Sparkle. And there was another girl, Sierra, I think. I don't know her, but they were all crafting on camera at the same time, which I thought was really cool. Let's see if I got that just fairly straight. Isn't that pretty? Anyway, maybe we'll get to do that one day. And some of you lovely ladies can join in. You know what? Now, see, I moved this because I thought I would like it better, but I want it underneath. So let's move it back the way it was originally. I might need to put a tad bit more glue on there. The one thing I'm still happy for is we have sometimes Joann Fabrics either has a 50 or even sometimes 60% off of one item. And I always use it for my bottle of Fabri-Tac. Because this silly bottle of glue is $14.99, which is what I would say obnoxious. But I just love this glue, so I make sure I have some on hand at all times. Okay, so I love that. I think I'm going to put something there, but while we're at it, I've done the edges, and now I want to do the top. So I want to find a trim that's not too overbearing. Like if I had this, I would just put this one on the top again, but I didn't bring enough of this one. So let's see. What about this one? Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Can you see that? I also have this to trim the edges of my images. This is a slightly different color, and I'm really not opposed to changing up the beiges and the ecru's and the tan colors because it just gives your eye more to look at. And I am going to keep this journal more on the neutrals and the vintage colors. That's just what I'm in the mood for. But I do want to give you videos on a journal, start to finish. It'll just give us more time together. Oh, wait, I don't need it to go that far over. Yeah, just this far. There we go. And then the corners where the laces meet, I often will put a little embellishment here and here as well. If it doesn't look like it's, meshing really well, I'll just tie it together with another decoration. They say sometimes if you have trouble with making it work, just decorate the heck out of it. And nobody will see any of the flaws that you might consider flaws. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for coming. I love that I can see you guys this way. And I love when you put up videos, everyone. I'm not ashamed to say I love your storytelling when you add little bits and pieces about your life or about how your week has gone. Feels like a true visit. So thank you for doing that. I always click like on your videos too. I have to say though, I'm not like into the growing my channel, click like and subscribe. I've never been one to like make that a biggie on my channel. I know a lot of people do, and I think it's fine. I literally just do it because I love making videos and feeling like I'm having a community of crafting friends. I'm not even monetized because I got so tired of the commercials. I kind of got tricked into that free trial where you can do YouTube with free for a while without commercials. Well, if you do that, just know you're going to get so happy without the commercials that you'll end up paying the monthly fee. It's like a streaming service. When you have it, you think, oh, I can watch this and watch that, and then you never watch it. Well, now I have it, and I truly do not want to go back to commercials. So my channel is growing, and I'm very grateful for anybody that sees fit to want to subscribe. But just know I appreciate it, but I'll probably never do it for the monetized part of it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I will, but at this point, I'm not. I'm enjoying watching the videos without commercials. It's worth it to me. All right, so I've got the first 2 pages. This is the cover. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the cover yet, so we're going to just skip that for now. And let's do a doily page. So for a doily page, where are my, hold on guys, I have oh, here they are, right under my nose. So for my doily page, oh boy, I had one that was a Battenberg doily. You know what? I don't know where it is right this minute. So this is a part of a piece that has some vintage tatting, and I think I'll just use this since I don't know exactly what I did with. So we'll make this a pocket. I have my iron here. It needs a little pressing. And then we'll put a flower. Oops. I like all this beautiful open lace and tatting. It's okay, Rusty. Somebody's siren's going off, probably because it's storming outside. Can you see that? So I'm going to, it's okay, bud. It's the most excitement he's had all day. I'm going to glue around the back of this little piece here and make it a pocket. Everybody still with me? Okay. And then I'm going to put maybe a pretty flower right there. I gathered up a baggie of, you know what, let's turn off this sewing machine and move it. There, that's better. Okay. Let's see here. All right. I can embellish this pocket now. Can you see that? I do love the tatting, Mary. I'm amazed at people who can actually do tatting, which Mary is one of those people. I love these little silk flowers. I've had these for a while. They're just so sweet. And I think I need a tiny piece of trim. Ooh, this would pick up. Now you won't see this very well, and I apologize for that, but can you see how delicate that tatting is? I'm going to put some across here. Maybe I'll put something white first to make it stand out. I don't know. I think it may stand alone. This is pretty, but it's got some iridescent on it, which I don't want. What else might work there? There's some seam binding. It's probably not necessary. Let's see what else, Carla. Oh, this is something I could mount it on. I just want something that'll help the tatting show up a little better. I'll put this under here so you guys can see it a little better. There we go. Wow, we have not had a thunderstorm in months. It sounds so cool. My son was going to walk over to his youth group, but it's raining and he doesn't really want to go, so we're just going to lay low. My husband had to go to work. My older son is at work. So it's just a nice moment to visit with you. Can you see that? So I put that lace there because I want the beige color to show up a little better with the tatting. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so much fun. Thank you, Tina. You need rain in Florida, yeah. I'm worried. I was just telling the ladies before you guys came that I think I overwatered my garden and now we're getting a whole bunch of rain. So, I hope I don't kill anything. It's my first attempt at gardening again in years. And I'm being a little impatient and a little neurotic about it. Okay, so there's our tatting. That's a little torn, isn't it? I'll just put a little dab of glue there. Okay, May 1st, you guys. How did that happen so quickly? Okay, so now I've got the pocket and I'm going to put a seam binding bow at the top. You live in the north of England. Oh, and you get lots of rain. Okay, so I'm going to do a double little bow here, I think. You know what? My seam binding is rather short, and I didn't bring the whole roll over, so what I'm going to do is glue it. Glue the loops into place. I was going to try to use the tails of the bow and tie it into place, but I don't have enough length, so I'm just going to wrap them. And then use a different ribbon to tie the bow. I think that'll work. And you know which one I'll use is the same one I used for the background on that one. Oh my, it's already 5 o'clock. You all, where it's late, I apologize. I've been at this for an hour, but we'll only go about 10 more minutes. And that way I can finish the flower page and the pocket page. And Lord willing, we will be back at it again next week. I remember when I was younger, I felt like anything I ever saw about England, it was always rainy. And people always had on their wellies and always had an umbrella. I also remember that it seemed like it was always foggy outside. Of course, since I've seen beautiful countryside and bright blue skies, so I know it's not necessarily always that way, but it can get kind of gloomy. Okay, guys, so I've got this sweet little bow. And this is just how I go, you guys. I just make, uh, you know, ditzy little embellishments and sweet little bows and flowers and trims. I love doing that. So I'm going to trim this one off. And this one will dangle from up here. And I'll probably put something in the center of it. Let me get rid of this notification. Sorry. It rains even more in Wales, huh? All right, so I'm going to glue my bow at the top here. And I'm going to find my flower. I have a flower I was going to put on there. Here it is. So I was going to show you one of the things I picked up were these doilies. There's the Hobby Lobby orange sticker. And they were only 75 cents. Of course, I didn't need them, but rarely do I need them. I actually love this one. This is a vintage one. It's called a pineapple doily. I think we'll make him the backing of our flower page. And sometimes I even save the packaging from these vintage doilies because they make fun little tuck spots and interesting ephemera. This one I kind of just destroyed getting the doily off, so I may not keep this one, but I do have several. Extra day off on a Monday. 8 bank holidays a year, except this year we have extra to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. I love stuff about the royals, you guys. I'm definitely a royal watcher. All right, so we're going to put down this doily for our flower page. I don't know, I'm going to cover up so much of it. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll use a slightly bigger one. Yeah, I'll use this one. I like this one. Oh, it's the same size. Huh. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. Can you see that? It makes it stand out more because it's on white. So I'm going to put this one down. Let's put it on here instead. Yeah. So we have that pretty doily. And then we're going to put the flower. I think I made this one on camera in one of our first lives. I'm going to mount that there. And I'm going to put, I think I have a little bit of cheesecloth in this mound of mayhem. It goes from being all sorted and the way I want it to craziness. So can you guys see my cheesecloth anywhere? Because I sure can't. It's here somewhere. Anyway, let's put a flower in the middle. Oh, I like that. Let's put that in the middle. Or, oh yeah, I don't know. You guys have to tell me. I also have these. I think I like that one. Uh-oh, guys. Oh,